Do we have to suspend our disbelief for a moment and assume that Fox News cares about the future of the Democratic Party? Talk about a guy who doesn't read the fucking room. Any Democratic consultant that goes on Fox News to defend whatever Fox News is cooking up is not a real Democratic consultant. They're a consultant for the oligarchs who are bipartisan, who don't care about whichever party gains their loyalty because their goals are the same at the end of the day. Fox News calls Jimmy Kimmel the Hasan Piker of ABC News. He's Hasan Piker with an ABC logo. Dude, oh my God. Do I have that level of motion amongst the Republican media ecosystem at this point that they just use me as a catch-all term now? You're being a real Hasan Piker right now? That's what they're doing now? Oh my God. I'm a substitute term for evil? I mean, I take this responsibility seriously. The level of emotion I have now is undefeated, is unstoppable. This is an example of Fox randomly saying your name in every segment they do now.
Quote, look at Melania. So beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have the glow like an expectant widow. What else could any reasonable, sane and sober person possibly conclude except that being a call for Trump, who works as hard as anybody on the planet, appears to be in excellent health, to be suddenly dead? Jimmy Kimmel is not a comedian. You know what he is? He's Hasan Piker with an ABC logo.
What is happening?
And ABC, which might as well be called MSABC at this point, just gave him a contract extension. Quote,
what the fuck?
Look at
it sucks that like the reason why they've turned me into this like evil deity is because of Israel. So none of those like liberals will ever turn around and make jokes because they also have to present me as this like untouchable figure. Because if this was over me saying like the Republicans are terrorists or whatever, then yeah, liberals don't care about that. They agree with it. They would have no issues with it. But like a lot of the prominent fixtures in liberal media also have a similar attitude about Israel that like Fox News has. You know, I have no idea how I became so infamous amongst Fox News boomers that they're now using substitute for evil. This completely defangs all your low-level haters. They must be fuming. Now they have a Nick Fuentes doesn't read as subversive when attacking you. He's just another shill in the chorus. Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's true. Radical Pikerist Raphael Warnock. Yeah, he's a real Hasan Piker, this guy. Unbelievable. Shout out to FD for this brief edit of you. Your subreddit is good sometimes. What is this? The FD signifier edit of Hasan goes pretty hard. I wish it could be turned into a full intro. What is this? Have I seen this before? Is this something I've seen already?
Accountable, such as Hasan, the biggest person in the creation space.
Hasan loves 9/11. What happened? I thought that was a successful campaign strategy, bitch.
Oh yeah, that was you are Hasan Piker is the new you are Hamas. Yeah, I can't believe it. I mean, look, I'm honored. I'm honored by this. Okay? They are united in their hatred of me and I welcome their hatred. Okay? Go ahead. Keep at it. Keep at it, baby. Yeah, I mean, this is what would you do in this situation? Blame Hasan Piker. We used to make these jokes about drama slop tubers, and it turns out mainstream media is now behaving like drama slop tubers. It's incredible. Like Fox News has officially reached drama slop tuber status. Have you considered you are simply the Hasan of Pikers? I have. Look, man, these guys are real villains, right? I must be doing something right. You got 220K views on your Bilibili comments and you being white Chinese. He really loves Bilibili. This Chinese tunic suit looks very handsome. Oh my God, Bilibili is posting the meat pic. That's crazy. The end result of this kind of media bliss just means you become as popular as AOC. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I recognize what's going on, though. It's not. It's definitely creating a unique danger in my immediate life. Van Jones did a 10-minute hit piece on me. I know. Van Dead Gaza Baby Jones. Yeah. Omar Badar has already responded to some of this. Gaslighting alert. The Israeli government systematically targets women and children in its genocide, kidnaps thousands of Palestinian civilians in dungeons without charge or trial, and uses rape as a weapon against Palestinian men, women, and children. So why does Vance support it? Well, we know why he supports it. Rick Scott posted you again. I saw this. I quote retweeted this already. Ro Khanna was asked once again about appearances that he has made with me, and he I don't know what he said, but I replied to that. By saying, in a just world, you would be in prison. I say, it's so funny to me that everyone hears Rick Scott's desperate cries and agrees that in a just society, he'd at least be thrown in prison for doing record-breaking Medicare fraud. Here's Rick Scott crying about me, or on Twitter, because Ro Khanna went on Brian Kill Me and was asked about his affiliations with the radical terrorist Hasan Piker.
Okay, here's Hasan Piker and some of the things he said.
If you cared about Medicare or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott.
I'm pro stealing from big corporations because, you know, they steal quite a bit more from their own workers. Brian Thompson, as the United Healthcare CEO, was engaging in a tremendous amount of social murder. Virtually every American has a similar experience, a shared experience where...
Bro, the clips are getting shorter and shorter. The clips are getting shorter and shorter. At some point, they're just going to be like, I'll say, don't kill Rick Scott. And then they're just going to clip the kill Rick Scott part and be like, see? What do you think about that? They're like, look at that. We got him. We got him. Yeah. Yeah. How do you feel about this, huh, Ro Khanna? Yeah, you hear him? You hear his words?
Okay, here's Hasan Piker and some of the things he said.
They steal quite from as the CEO was engaging in a tremendous amount of social murder. Virtually every American has a similar experience, a shared experience where they have a loved one that spent their last days, instead of spending them with their family, spending it on the phone, talking to their healthcare provider.
I mean, this is just some of the stuff that he said. He says the Hezbollah flag is dope. He likes Hamas better than Republicans. Landlords are MFers. And you go and sit down with him and you put your reputation on the line and you want everybody else to take a step back?
Well, Brian, because I have said that Hamas is a terrorist organization. Hezbollah is a terrorist organization. I was one of the first people who condemned it.
Ban the spammer? No, this is a really good retort. Hey, Grok, why is communism, socialism elitist, bureaucratic, and classist? This guy is now replying to my other fucking tweets with this. Like a question that he asked Grok, he's replying to my tweets with a question that he asked Grok elsewhere. Incredible work. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I didn't realize vexillology was illegal. Anyway, here, this is the state of discourse nowadays. People who ask Grok questions randomly and then post the question and response.
Shooting of the United Healthcare
Beula Jr., thank you for the 20 tier 1 gifted subs.
Executive. But millions of people follow Hasan Piker. Why? Because he's speaking about some of the frustrations. He's speaking about the fact that people don't have health care in America.
Bin Laden? Did you just compare me to Osama bin Laden? What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my God. The level of Islamophobia, bitch. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. What the fuck is this comparison? Bin Laden? Again, it's, oh my God. This fucking camera keeps falling. Oh, it's too heavy. Ugh. Okay, this is a little bit better. Did he pick Bin Laden because he's racist? Because he could have said Hitler? I mean, that wouldn't have been great either, but I assume Bin Laden is a not so subtle reference to, you know, me being Muslim. He's like, yeah, well, this fucking, you know, Bin Laden had a lot of followers. Would you fucking have Bin Laden on the broadcast too? Two guys that love doing 9/11s on American soil. This Islamic style commie, just like Bin Laden.
Okay. Well, there are a lot of people on the podcast world, et cetera, who say things that are outrageous or sensationalist, and I push back when you do that. But we have to understand the anger in this country of people who feel they can't buy a house, they can't afford gas, they can't have health care, they're upset at the system. It's one of the reasons Trump won twice, and we have to engage while condemning the violence. But if you look at, I never engage in approving of violence, approving of the incitement of violence, and I'll condemn it when I hear it.
Congressman, I just can't believe you choose to go on. I mean, Cory Booker and others have not.
Yeah, he's going on your show, dumbass. You literally said you want to murder every homeless person. What are you talking about? You fantasized on, not this show, but on this network about how you had an appetite that was insatiable for the murder of the homeless. Okay? Again, if he's going on your show, I don't think you have a leg to stand on here. What are we doing? What are we talking about? Excellent pushback. I mean, seriously. I swear to God, what looked like Jimmy Patronis' Florida 1 District handed Camilla a weird-ass object. She was going down the aisle. Check out 1 minute. Okay, dude. Okay, calm down, all right? Stop panicking. It's probably fine. Anyway, so that was the good-natured Brian Kilme, who wants to murder the homeless, talking about how scary I am and how violent my commentary is. Is tonight Hannity night? No, it's not. No, it's not Hannity night yet. Isn't Fox News in New York City? You should go on. Buddy, that's not how this works, okay? I don't just decide to appear on Fox News and then they're like, oh yeah, let's do it. First of all, Fox News has a similar attitude to Asmongold. Not only are they identical in their worldview, but they're also identical in their cowardice. They would much rather clip me out of context and address the clips instead of actually have me appear on their broadcast, because God forbid, I might convince some of their fucking followers. Okay? When is the Sean Hannity podcast? It's next month, I think, or the end of it's going to be next month, most likely. Yeah, I'll just pull up to the Fox News building and be like, yo, what's up? Have me on right now. I'm Brian Kilme. I'm Brian Kill Myself. Anyway, yeah, leftists on Twitter. Why, yes, I do organize and do direct action. For example, my Marxist book club /Polycule meets once every other week to debate whether COVID masking is still centrist liberals on blue sky. We must do an armed insurrection, armed rebellion now. It is the only honorable option. I got a nipple ring just because of you. Okay, that's good to know, Rose all day. Thank you for telling us that. Yeah, a centrist revolution is upon us. Heated clash, top down pressed on controversial podcast appearance. I guess. Wait, is this the fucking Ro Khanna? Oh God, it was 8 long
Political
minutes.
Violence and rhetoric has got to stop, and that's something President Trump said right after the incident on Saturday night. When you have reporters, when you have media just being overly critical and calling the president horrible names for no reason and without evidence, without proof, it shouldn't surprise us that this type of rhetoric takes place.
And that was Todd Blanche, the acting Attorney General, yesterday. Saturday shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, prompting more calls to end political violence and the rhetoric fueling it. Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna is pushing for a bipartisan commission to end political violence, and he joins us now. Congressman, how would this look? How would this go forward? You going to analyze it? Are you going to set up a criteria or marching orders or to-do list?
Well, it's first an acknowledgement that political violence is out of hand, that it is affecting people in both parties, that both parties have a responsibility to address it. There should be a national commission, and we can look at concrete things. One, the role that social media is playing in amplifying the most sensational, outrageous content that sometimes incites violence. Second, looking at mental health issues. Third, looking at how we can have intervention when you have someone sick, like the person who was tried the attempted assassination on the president and his cabinet. How do we get earlier intervention? And finally, what are the standards of how we can all do better in our political rhetoric without violating the First Amendment? We want robust speech. People should be able to criticize me, but there's a difference between criticism and the incitement of violence.
Right. I agree. I think the sentiment is widespread, although it didn't seem like it was being embraced by Hakeem Jeffries yesterday.
Get out of my city. You not from New York City, get out. Buddy, I played a role in getting your current mayor elected, okay? You can't be out here saying stuff like that. You can't be out here talking this big shit, okay? It's our city, comrade.
But, Congressman, do you think it was a good move to have that spirit of what you just said and sit down with somebody like Hasan Piker?
Well, look, Hasan Piker is part of the First Amendment. I go on Sean Ryan. I've gone on Flagrant. I've gone on Hasan Piker. I go left, right. People criticize me for coming on Fox News. Not that I'm comparing you to other podcasts, but I have...
You should, because I demonstrably am not anywhere near as toxic, as repulsive, as cancerous a fixture in American politics as Fox News is. I guess when he says, I'm not comparing you guys to podcasters, he means you guys are much worse, right? You're in the Constitution? Yeah. Well, that's an elected representative saying my name is in the Constitution now. That's how it works. That means I'm the First Amendment. I am now the First Amendment of the Constitution.
Condemned unequivocally the idea that America somehow deserved 9/11. Of course we didn't. It was a terrorist attack by al-Qaeda. I've condemned the idea that anyone would threaten the life of a sitting senator. I disagree with Senator Scott. Of course he should be safe. So one can have conversations, but condemn any incitement to violence.
You really think that? Okay, here's Hasan Piker.
Yeah, he does the clip copy, and then he responds.
But millions of people follow Hasan Piker. Why? Because he's speaking about.
And then he turns around and says, well, millions of people follow Osama bin Laden. Would you go on his podcast too? Like a fucking idiot.
Somehow they're, listen, I pushed back by a house. They can't afford gas. They can't have health care. They're upset at the system. It's one of the reasons Trump won twice. And we have to engage while condemning the violence. But if you look at, I never engage in approving of violence, approving of the incitement of violence, and I'll condemn it.
You shouldn't allow him back on your stream if he's going to throw you under the bus. He needs you. You don't need him. Ro really isn't defending you, though, no? Yeah, his defense of me is, again, very like, his quote-unquote defense of me is more so a defense of, like, appearing alongside me, right? It's fine. I do think it's a little silly, like... My expectation isn't for elected representatives to know exactly the context of all these out of context clips that they're fucking using. But it is to say, look, man, like, I don't agree with everything that this guy says, but at the end of the day, he has a right to say it. And the reality of the matter is, you guys know that too. You guys embody that spirit, right? You hate cancel culture. And here you are using clips out of context against the dude who speaks for 8 hours a day on hot button issues. You yourself, Brian Kilme, have openly stated, unprompted, that you wanted to murder homeless people. And here I am on your broadcast. I'm appearing on Fox News, right? Enough with this nonsense. The cancel culture is universally opposed for good reason. You can't, on the one hand, say you hate cancel culture, and then on the other hand, utilize the exact same techniques that you opposed that allowed Trump to win the election. It's so cynical. There's a major double standard here, and you guys are leaning into it. They would never invite him back. Yes, they would. That clip would do numbers. That clip would, the first representative that brings up this double standard will get LeBron numbers, okay? Are you kidding me? Liberals would love that. Liberals love the hypocrisy arguments, and there is nothing more hypocritical than an entire movement that runs around with this like anti-cancel culture initiative only to turn around and do the exact same thing. Habibi, out of context is wild. When you said America deserved 9/11, what context is missing? We're not talking about that, you fucking baboon. You fucking donkey. You fucking moron. Is that what he was talking about here? You fucking dingus. He's making it seem like I'm pro-murdering Brian Thompson, you fucking idiot. God, I have such little respect for you. I have no respect for you at all. Don't ever fucking call me Habibi, okay? You moron. Are we supposed to do this every time? Are we supposed to do this song and dance every time? Do you want me to do that every time to like explain that analysis does not equal endorsement? You know, pretty basic stuff overall. That if you chop up someone's statements down to 2 seconds, you can make them appear as though they're in support of anything on the fucking planet. Here, let me do that to you right now. Okay? Imagine. Out of context, okay? You just said, if I just chopped it up to America deserved 9/11, boom, all of a sudden, you have now said America deserved 9/11. Do you understand? Why did you say America deserved 9/11? Pixel. Why are you in support of 9/11? Why do you want to do 9/11 again? Here you are saying Habibi as well. Very Arab. How Arab of you. Do you understand? It's really fucked up, chatter, that you said America deserved 9/11. Here, take a day off. Stupid. Alert the authorities.
When I hear it.
Congressman, I just can't believe you choose to go on. I mean, Cory Booker and others have not. But I want to ask you about DHS funding because it's really important. While we try to get the rhetoric down and people safe, DHS is not funded. Border Patrol is not funded.
Yeah. Now that we got through the most important story, let's talk about DHS funding. Yeah, now they love Cory Booker because Cory Booker said he wouldn't go on the stream. All right, what's next?
despite the videos and the accounts of what happened Saturday night.
I love these guys complaining about conspiracy theories, by the way. It's so funny to me when they're like, wow, can you believe it? Liberals are coming up with conspiracy theories about a shooting that took place. And I mean, it wasn't like no one died.
Conspiracy theories are now running.
This one's not on YouTube. Dem strategists went on Fox News to slam Democrats for associating with me. Oh my God, another one of these like cucks.
Streamer Hasan Piker. And Hasan Piker says he loves stealing. Watch.
I think it's cool. We gotta get back to cool crimes like that, like bank robberies, right? Stealing priceless artifacts, things of that nature. I feel like that's way cooler than the 7,000th new cryptocurrency scheme that people are engaging in.
I sometimes wonder if they're doing this as an exercise to see how dumb their audience is, like to see if there's any pushback on something that is so clearly said in jest, like so clearly a fucking joke. I wonder if they're doing it on purpose to be like, no, you guys are hogs. You're at the trough and we're feeding you garbage.
I'm pro stealing from big corporations because, they steal quite a bit more from their own workers.
So, is it the right move for Democrats like these to associate with this podcaster? Michael LaRosa is a Democratic strategist and the former press secretary to Jill Biden. And we love having him on the show, and he joins us now in studio. Thanks for coming all the way over.
Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about, for those who don't know who Hasan Piker is, maybe it might be good for us just to show this clip really quick.
It's funny because, like, at a time when the average radical centrist Democrat is literally trying to kill the president, okay? That's how angry and frustrated the average Democrat voter is, like lifelong Democrat voter is. That's how much they oppose the current administration, okay? These guys are like, oh, well, as a Democratic Party consultant, I think we can find bipartisan consensus here. Like, what are we doing? Do we have to suspend our disbelief for a moment and assume that Fox News cares about the future of the Democratic Party? Talk about a guy who doesn't read the fucking room. Any Democratic consultant that goes on Fox News to defend whatever Fox News is cooking up is not a real Democratic consultant. They're a consultant for the oligarchs who are bipartisan, who don't care about whichever party gains their loyalty because their goals are the same at the end of the day.
This is his reaction to the execution, really, in the streets of CEO Brian Thompson. Watch.
Brian Thompson, as the United Healthcare CEO, was engaging in a tremendous amount of social murder. Virtually every American has a similar experience, a shared experience where they have a loved one that spent their last days, instead of spending them with their family, spending it on the phone, talking to their healthcare provider, to maybe get a little bit of economic respite. That is the reason why I think the reaction to Luigi Mangione, especially by younger generations, was not so negative.
All right, Michael, he's a Luigi Mangione fan. What do you make of this? Is this what you guys want for the party?
No, well, it's not what I want. That's disgusting talk. And, I have to be honest with you. You could waterboard me all day, and I couldn't tell you anything about this guy. I had to Google him a couple weeks ago. But the fact that people are paying attention to him, I think we embrace him at our own peril. The vast majority of Democratic primary voters, they're just normal, common sense people. I mean, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren,
Yeah, normal, common sense people. You know who else made that same take about the devastation born out of paywalling healthcare? For-profit healthcare insurance companies. Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren is not exactly a fan of mine, okay? As a matter of fact, I don't think she likes me at all, okay? And she also recognized that there was tremendous anger in the air due to the experiences that ordinary Americans have had with private healthcare providers. Private health insurance is viewed very negatively by the average American. You don't have to be a Democratic Party consultant to recognize that, but I guess if you are a paid shill for these corporations, you're paid to act obtuse intentionally, to act oblivious to this reality, the reality that the average American actually despises private health care.
They could not make the case for themselves in a Democratic primary. So I look at the faces on the screen there, and I think, oh, well, you know, good luck. Joe Biden, it took him a couple contests, but in the end, the voters of the Democratic Party just want normal, common sense representation. And I think that's why they went with Biden. That's why we traditionally do go with a more mainstream candidate. I won't say moderate, but I'll say mainstream.
What is this graphic, bro? Oh my God. Oh my God. What the hell is happening, bro?
Mainstream candidate. And I believe that Democrats will do the same.
So maybe the voters are there, but this man Hasan Piker has been embraced by the New York Times, by sort of like the elites in the party in some way. And I think, tell me if I'm wrong, they're doing this because they understood the impact of the manosphere, the male podcast world really helped President.
By the way, it is really funny because this is exactly what liberal media did for years and years to the manosphere, constantly complaining about them, demanding that Democrats don't actually touch the manosphere with a 10-foot pole, and constantly chirping about it. Now, of course, there's plenty of things that members of the manosphere have said that are unbelievably repulsive in comparison to like clips that they take of me out of context to be like, oh, see, Hasan is doing systemic analysis. Clearly, that means it's an endorsement of mass theft and bloody murder in the streets. Like all this stuff is exactly what liberals did for the longest fucking time. And then they learned, I think, from that lesson that they can't just like avoid these independent circles, right? They can't avoid these independent media outlets because that's where the eyeballs are.
President Trump, and they think maybe
But I don't have an issue with this graphic because these are some of the best. These are some of the best politicians in the country right now, with the exception of these last two, right? Who said they'd be willing to appear on my live stream. Again, no invites have been sent out except for Gavin Newsom. But like here, let's cut this part out. But yeah, like look at this. Does Hasan follow the Dre dossier at substack.com? No. Also, it's fucked up that Ilhan Omar is not on this list. This list is also international. Leader of the LFI, Jean-Luc Mélenchon, is a member of this list. Zach Polanski, the head of the Green Party, is a member on this list as well. I say this is a pretty fucking solid list. Yanis Varoufakis, Keith Ellison, there's more. But yeah, some of these are unbelievably popular figures, like Bernie Sanders, Zohran Mamdani. These are unfathomably popular figures. Avi Lewis, we'll have Avi Lewis on as well eventually. Talked to him before he became the head of NDP. I was trying to link up with him and his wife when I was in their neighborhood. It didn't end up happening. I think this is a disciplining operation in some respects, or at least the Democrats are treating it as a disciplining operation. They can't yell at every single fucking voter, so they have to like yell at a person that they have figured out is a easier target than like basically yelling at their voters for having similar opinions, right? They're trying to scold the base of support. But I think the reason why the Republicans are doing this is because they're also worried. They're worried about left populism growing in the country.
They're Rogan, and so they embrace him instead of do what you're doing, which is criticize him.
Yeah, and I think that that would be a mistake to interpret the election as if the podcast was the only thing that made Trump appealing to
I didn't say that, for the record. I said the exact opposite.
Voters, or that made Kamala Harris less appealing. It's not that podcasts were the secret sauce. It was that Trump made himself available and accessible to everyone. He held press conferences. You talked about it earlier in your show.
Yeah.
His accessibility, it took 2 months before Kamala Harris could even do a press interview.
Right.
And that's what killed her. It was the appearance and the perception that she was hiding something. And so the New York Times, by platforming people like that, I'm a little shocked because I read the New York Times. I'm one of those Democrats who still admires the Times and reads it and respects it. But I don't understand the platforming or why somebody like that is worth the platform of the New York Times.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens here, but it is an interesting development. We'll see if the common sense Democrat.
I mean, yeah, you're on fucking Fox News agreeing with Fox News. If you are a Democratic Party consultant in any way, shape, or form, you should not find yourself on Fox News agreeing with Fox News at all. Yeah, by the way, this is now the third or fourth poll showing Abdul making demonstrable gains in the wake of the epic Hasan freakout. He still has a long way to go, but it was clearly a blunder on the part of the establishment and one that could gain permanently Abdul massive attentional strength. U.S. Senate Michigan Democratic primary polling average from race to the White House, 4/28/2026. Abdul El-Sayed at 23.3. Mallory McMorrow at 21.3. Abdul El-Sayed taking the lead here on this poll. Okay. Abdul El-Sayed also just secured the endorsement of the National Nurses United, 225,000 members. He's the only Michigan Senate Dem backing Medicare for all. Elites have done the Streisand effect so many times that it beggars the imagination that they still believe the strat works. I think it would have worked. Here's how it would have worked, okay? I'll be very honest with you. If after this like wave of negative fake controversy, I, hit away and the only information you could find on me wasn't my past library of commentary, but instead what people have said about me, right? But that's not how that works because I'm a media figure myself. Then it would have worked. If I was a, student protester that they were disparaging this aggressively, then yes, it would have worked because student protesters on college campuses don't have major media platforms. They can't defend themselves. That's number one. Number two, you a scary chicken and you know it. I'm a scary chicken? I'm a chicken with scars? Sure. Okay. Number two, it also would have been effective if Abdul El-Sayed or numerous other figures that I've appeared with backed away and were like, I'm so sorry that we did this. That would have been somewhat annoying for me to deal with, but it also would have made them look bad. Not because I have like a large audience of like sycophants who would have punished these candidates or anything like that. Right? But the reason why that would have looked bad is because then they would have admitted guilt for no fucking reason. Okay? It would have made them look weak. It would have made them admit guilt for no real reason. And it would have become a real controversy. But it's not a real controversy. It's one that just invites more attention to the candidates now who can just stand on their principles and say, look, I have a principled stance I'm not inconsistent on this. That I'll go to anyone and talk to anyone, right? Two, these are some of the issues that I care about. He aligns with me on those issues. I agree with him on, some of the things. I disagree with him on others. Who cares? It shows that you are open-minded, okay? And last but not least, they're not backing down from cynical lines of attack. It's good. Them not distancing themselves also gives the freedom to other progressive Dems to say, nah, fuck that. I'm not stepping away. Exactly. I sent my parents who were Cuban-American Republicans who watch Fox News, your Cuba mini doc, and they were both blown away. They didn't believe you were the same guy Fox was talking about. Yeah. There's another Senate poll that came out showing Stevens in the lead, which is crazy, unbelievable. But El-Sayed at 23 to Stevens at 25, McMorrow at 16. Okay? This is really good. Within striking distance. Within a margin of error. I don't believe any of the polls that show Stevens in the lead. I'll be honest with you. I feel like those are base boosted. I don't know how the fuck they're polling because there's no way I will tell you right now, I do not think Stevens has a shot. I don't think Stevens has a shot at winning the primary, and I don't think she has a shot at winning the general. Okay? If by some insane stroke of misfortune, Haley Stevens wins the primary, I would obviously be devastated because Abdul is fantastic. And it would be a massive miss for American democracy. But it would also mean that I just genuinely don't understand the electorate at all. Like because I understand certain things, right? If you have more money, which Stevens certainly does, and you get the machine, the Democratic Party machine on your side, which Stevens also has, then yeah, you get plenty of advantages in a race. But Haley Stevens is such a black hole of charisma. So unbelievably bad as a politician that even all of those structural aids is not going to make up for that clear distinction between her and even McMorrow. I'm not even talking about Abdul in this situation. Abdul is a league, many leagues above Haley Stevens as far as like a charismatic orator. But I genuinely don't understand why anyone would vote for her. I don't get it. I don't understand it. In any case, let's get to Fox News now complaining about liberals engaging in conspiracy theories. Fox News, once again, Fox News is famous for trafficking in conspiracies in the aftermath of every single mass shooting, every single violent incident. Fox News is right there, ready to lie about what actually took place. And now they're complaining that the liberals are doing the same. Let's take a look.
Rampant on social media. Some accounts are even questioning whether the entire thing was staged, much like they did the assassination attempt in Butler. The Washington Post says this, quote, about a fifth of the left wing and liberal influencers and politicians who posted about the shooting used conspiratorial language, according to a Post analysis of social media posts and podcasts.
Oh, just nonsense. Hugh Hewitt is tearing into the media's coverage on this, writing on Fox Digital. Trump saw what the Truth Legacy media missed. Sick minds are fueling violence. He joins us in moments with more.
First, now we go to Justice correspondent David Spunt. He's got an update on the suspect live right here in the D.C. newsroom. Hi, David.
Hi, Jillian and John. Well, the suspect is sitting behind bars right now waiting for a detention hearing that's going to happen on Thursday. If convicted after trial, Cole Allen could spend the rest of his life in prison. More charges are also expected in this case as new evidence comes to light.
Make no mistake, this was an attempted assassination.
The 31-year-old from Southern California, who authorities say stormed through a security checkpoint at that dinner on Saturday, also facing charges of transportation of a firearm in interstate commerce and discharge of a firearm during a crime of violence. Authorities say that Allen, transporting weapons he purchased in California, took a train from California to Washington, D.C. last week. Fox is told he checked into the Washington Hilton Hotel just one day before the dinner, was armed with a 12-gauge pump action shotgun, a .38 semi-automatic.
Oh, I didn't realize transporting firearms was illegal. I didn't realize I was living in communist China. Oh, I'm sorry. It's illegal to transport my God-given firearms and my God-given rights that I'm exercising in God's favored country, the United States of America. I didn't realize this was communist China, brother. Did you cover UAE leaving OPEC? No, dude, not yet. Okay, not yet. I will get to it. God damn.
3 knives when he made his move.
I love these chatters, though. Like the chatters who are like, I am aching for geopolitical analysis. Dude, I need to know what the fuck is going on in the Hormuz, okay? We are situation monitoring enjoyers.
We are investigating this matter fully. We will apply the law fairly, and we will ensure that accountability is swift and certain.
According to the criminal complaint released less than 24 hours ago at 8:40 Saturday evening, Allen, knowing the president and first lady were already seated in the ballroom, approached security, ran through the magnetometer as seen on the surveillance footage right there. The complaint alleges that Secret Service heard a loud gunshot. One officer was shot in the chest but was wearing a bulletproof vest and survived.
Let this be a message to anyone who thinks that Washington, D.C. is the place to act out political violence. And if you are willing to do so with a firearm and cross state lines, we will find you.
Cole Allen is back in federal court on Thursday, where the government will argue why he should remain held in jail until trial. At this point, he does not have private counsel. He's represented by 2 federal public defenders. Jillian, John.
David, are you hearing anything from your sources? We have not officially about the investigation into who exactly shot the Secret Service agent who was wounded?
It's a good question. I'm glad you brought it up. It's unclear right now. It's something we've asked DOJ officials. The deputy, or I don't want to say the former deputy attorney general, now the acting attorney general, Todd Blanche, asked yesterday. The way that it's written in the criminal complaint is very careful to say that the Secret Service heard gunshots and then a Secret Service agent was hit in the chest. Luckily, that agent survived. That agent had a bulletproof vest on, the initials VG of that agent, but it's still not clear. And we asked as journalists point blank who shot the Secret Service agent. Right now, they say that's still under ballistic testing going on at Quantico, Virginia.
All right. Well, David, keep us posted. We will check back with you as needed this afternoon. Thanks very much for kicking us off, John.
All right, let's bring in Hugh Hewitt, Fox News contributor and host of the Hugh Hewitt Show, to delve into this more. So 3 attempts against President Trump's life in the past 2 years. That is not a coincidence by any means. What do you think is driving it?
The internet is driving it. President Trump's interview on Sunday night, he referred to the shooter as unbalanced, as troubled, as sick. He's right about that. But then we have to step back and ask, what is fueling this generally, whether it is Butler, whether it's the guy in the tree in the Florida golf course, the killer of Charlie Kirk. And then if you go way back, John, 10 years, and I'm sure you'll remember it, not sure Jillian will, 10 years ago, an unbalanced man with a gun stormed the Comet Ping Pong Pizza, 3 miles away from the Washington Hilton. He was going to avenge Pizzagate. And it turns out he'd been living on the internet, and he'd swallowed it hook, line, and sinker, and he thought there were children in.
Yeah, which movement fueled these sorts of conspiracy theories? We're all trying to find out the guy who did this, you know? Wow. Which president has actually sincerely leaned into QAnon, like made direct references to that same movement that this guy is now shitting on? Oh, that's right. That was Donald Trump. Donald Trump, on numerous occasions, has actually offered straight up direct dog whistles to the QAnon movement. What's next, dude? You're going to be like, yeah, unbelievably violent sentiment coming from Republicans probably caused the Minneapolis shooter to go and kill Democratic legislators. Like, who's doing it? I wonder. Who's fucking doing that? Which movement has been doing that? Yeah, I refuse to be lectured about conspiracy theories by a guy that thinks the 2020 election was stolen. God damn it, Twitter. I don't fucking want to download it as an app. What is this bullshit? Every time I click on a new Twitter link, it's going to try to force me to download this fucking app? Is that what's going on? I refuse to be lectured about conspiracy theories by a guy that thinks the 2020 election was stolen and whose employer had to pay an $800 million legal settlement for pushing conspiracy theories. Arrest warrant issued for former FBI director James Comey. Nice. But yeah, Guy Benson, Fox News political analyst, complaining about conspiracies. Nearly half of American leftists believe the Butler assassination attempt, which killed someone, was a false flag inside job. Insane conspiracy nuttery. One of those leftists, it turns out, is the guy who tried to finish the job at the White House Correspondents' Dinner per CNN reporting. It's for the 8647 post, by the way. I'm not lying. Yeah, unbelievable. Ken Clip also showed in a new article he hated the Dems too. All right, I'll look at this. This is kind of like Ben Shapiro thinking he could do unlimited racism and it wouldn't backfire. Yeah, no, it is exactly that. It's leopards eating their own fucking faces. And guess what? They don't like it. They don't like it one bit. Megyn Kelly, the left, and Hasan Piker don't just justify political violence. They celebrate it. Oh my God. Fucking motionless. I don't care about this. This is the dangerous radical terrorist tearing the nation apart. Got some creatine. Slammed a... Okay, dude. Yes, I'm jorking it. I'm jorking my peanuts. Did you talk about the shooter brother warning the police he was coming? Yeah, I covered it the day of, or the next day. Hold on. Where the fuck was I? Oh, yeah. Let's continue with this.
In the Comet Ping Pong Pizza, he was sentenced to 4 years in jail by now Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. But it was because of the waters in which he swam. And very quickly, those waters, 4chan, QAnon, became off limits to anyone who was serious. You couldn't quote him. You couldn't be on him. You couldn't think about him.
Yep.
What are you saying? The president, literally, the president of the United States of America, the current president of the United States of America, straight up was leaning into the QAnon conspiracies. He appointed a QAnon conspiracy theorist to be the director of the FBI. He appointed another QAnon conspiracist who also happens to be a Fox News anchor as well, Dan fucking Bongino, as the deputy director of the FBI. What are you talking about? The idea that the Republicans shied away in any way, shape, or form from the QAnon conspiracy is laughable. Not only is it laughable, but it goes far beyond the QAnon conspiracy theories. Donald Trump and Fox News is responsible for the conspiracy that the 2020 election was stolen. Donald Trump was so responsible for that he actually tuned up his entire fan base, HVAC business owners from all around the country, into flying to Washington, D.C. to try to do an insurrection, okay? He didn't just form the conspiracy and give it shape, but he also fomented the anger and then tried to use that anger to do an insurrection. Now, it doesn't end there, okay? Fox News knew that this was a lie, as we now know, because they were, texting one another about how much they were fucking lying about this conspiracy theory. But Fox News, why do we know about this? Because Fox News got sued by Dominion to the tune of $800 million. Fox News was sued by Dominion successfully and was awarded, or not Fox News was awarded, but Dominion was awarded $800 million, okay, for openly and knowingly lying about the election being stolen. So what are you saying when you're talking about, oh, well, the conspiracies are running amok nowadays, it's crazy? No, you're just pissed that liberals are doing it. And it's not liberal mainstream outlets doing it in the same way that Fox News does it with regular frequency and still does it to this day. In the aftermath of every single shooting, Fox News, alongside the entire independent right-wing commentary circuit, will lie and say, oh, this is another transgender Antifa shooter. They openly trade in conspiracies every single time there's a breaking news event. Every single time, okay? This is even more unbelievable than them complaining about violent political language, okay? It's even less believable. You have no leg to stand on, man. What are you fucking saying? This should be read as them upset that they can't entertain conspiracy theories to the same success as they once enjoyed. Partially because now liberals have lost their dang minds too, and they're so frustrated, they're so rudderless, they're so angry that they're like, yeah, it must be a conspiracy. It must be for the ballroom. Part of the reason why they also feel that it must be for the ballroom, and I do kind of understand where liberals are coming from with this, is because the entirety of the right-wing media ecosystem, alongside John Fetterman, who's also a part of the right-wing media ecosystem, let's be real, came out in unison and said, this is why we need a ballroom. What the fuck is the expectation when you see every single conservative media figure alongside conservative legislators coming out and saying, this is why we need to fucking build a ballroom? Of course people are gonna be like, that's weird. That's a strange thing. What? That's not my first opinion that's not my first reaction when I see yet another assassination attempt on the president. I don't just go, oh, it's time for the ballroom. Like, that's a very weird response. It's a very weird and very clearly coordinated response. So, of course, people are going to look at that and go, that's odd. Well, I guess, here he goes again, faking another assassination attempt.
You're good. I'd never heard of him anyway, but we were learning that. Now, will that happen to the waters in which this would-be statement killer swam? Specifically, no Kings rally, crazy left-wing rhetoric from Hasan Piker. Will they be as shunned as the Comet Pizza shooters environment was shunned 10 years ago? We have to wait and see.
Yeah, except you're basically giving the game away, even though there's no equivalence here between someone like myself and like fucking Alex Jones. You're unironically showing that it's successful if Democrats do lean into this shit, okay? Like, Steve Bannon is Mr. QAnon. Steve Bannon is Mr. QAnon. Steve Bannon is still someone who is welcome in the White House. Steve Bannon also was an ally to Jeffrey Epstein. What are you saying? You know what this reminds me of in some ways? It reminds me of America being like, whoa, 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 you're not supposed to attack our military bases in the Gulf states. What are you doing? Like when America or Israel finally meets a country that's like willing to fight back, they're like, what? That's illegal. What the fuck? What do you mean you're blowing up our radar systems? Wait, don't you know that's not in the rules? Excuse me. Only we get to blow up whatever the fuck we want to blow up. I treat a lot of these mentions by Fox News and also many prominent, right-wing Democrats as people playing a role in operating as AIPAC stooges in American mainstream media. Okay, the reason why I'm getting attacked this much is because of AIPAC. It's because of Israel. Let's be real. As a prominent critic of Israel, a lot of Democrats are very frustrated that their base has moved on from the issue of Israel. They no longer have control over it. And it's the same with the Republicans too. That's what they're worried about. They're worried about prominent Democrats leaning into someone like myself to gain credibility on the issue of Israel. That is what they're afraid of, because everyone fucking knows behind closed doors that Israel is despised by large majorities of the American population. That's it.
of these protesters just appear to kind of lose their minds in public. I saw a video of a woman on Saturday night. She tried to get close to the president's motorcade. The police pushed her back behind the barricades. Then she started screaming F you in the face of any police officer there. And they eventually said, you know what, lady, we've had enough of this. They arrested her and took her away. I mean, there's a long history of this. Predates the internet by decades, hundreds of years.
Oh, yeah.
Long histories of assassinations and attempts in this country. Abraham.
It's so funny that they have to be like the rational, the rational party here. Oh, it's awesome. They're on the back foot, man. They're having to engage in a defensive posture. What is this? Fresh hells? Never seen before. If Google chooses to ethically drop out, Google drops out of Pentagon contest to develop voice-controlled autonomous drone swarms after internal ethics review. Oh my God, what the fuck are they doing?
Lincoln, James Garfield, William McKinley, John F. Kennedy, they were all assassinated. Attempts on Andrew Jackson, he was the first, 1835. Theodore Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, Harry Truman, Gerald Ford, 2 attempts in 17 days. Ronald Reagan, of course, at the same hotel, 1981. And then the 3 attempts against President Trump, 2 in 2024, 1 in 2026. I mean, this is a toxic environment for American presidents going back to almost the founding of this country. And maybe it's the internet. Maybe it's the internet now, but I mean, it's been there for a long time.
Yeah, there's always a temptation for people to make themselves famous. Charles Guiteau going after James Garfield, fabulous series on that recently. In the Republic of Georgia, we can't forget, disgruntled somebody threw a hand grenade at George W. Bush. Thank goodness it did not go off. So there have been these threats forever. But I do believe that the internet, I'm going to quote John Podhoretz of commentary here, allows those people who ought not to come together to come together. It allows subgroups to find, match, and plot. It allows crazy people to feed each other's mythologies and fantasies, often violent. It allows them to build the building blocks of extreme action, and they become Robespierre. They become 1789 in Paris, and the terror begins. What we have to do, what those police did to that demonstrator, is renew the enforcement of assault, which is the justifiable apprehension of an unpermitted touching. It's a felony in almost every jurisdiction. It's a misdemeanor in every jurisdiction. We have to start arresting people for assault. Doesn't require touching. That's battery. But an unpermitted touching is an assault or a legitimate apprehension of it. We have to start arresting people, and we have to start throwing people out of colleges and classrooms who are marginal and weird, because we can't let our kids be taught by them.
Yeah, you know, there's all of these conspiracy theories that have been surrounding President Trump since the first shooting in Butler, and now even some members of Congress appear to be entertaining it. Listen to what Jasmine Crockett posted on her X account. She said, has there ever been a president have this many close attempts on their life? Maybe it's lax gun laws, maybe it's lack of mental health funding, or maybe it's fake. Who knows? Maybe it's fake? I mean, I was there, and that was not fake.
Oh.
John, I haven't gone in 10
Oh, you're mad? Oh, no. I can't believe it, dude. I can't believe people are skeptical.
years. It's not my thing. So I'm glad you were safe, but everybody knows it's not fake. Jasmine Crockett knows it's not fake. That's the attention economy. That's the monetization of rage. That's the clickbait that keeps her in the public eye. That is the damning part of the internet. People get rewarded for being outrageous, and to keep that up, you got to say more and more outrageous things until suddenly you've got Hasan Piker campaigning with El Sayed in Michigan. The
What the fuck does that have to do with anything, man? It's so funny. These guys get mad at me when they're talking about like conspiracies are bubbling up, when I'm like I'm the last remaining anti-conspiracy theory guy on any side. Like, that's what's so fucking nutty. They bring up my name like they have a contractual obligation.
Would-be Senate nominee, and you've got real trouble on your hands. So it is for you and for me and for everyone with a platform, whether on radio or television, to simply call out those who are crazy and dealing in conspiracy theories and say, you're crazy, you're dealing with a conspiracy theory, I'm not giving you the time of day. That includes Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah, you say that you haven't gone into
Crockett.
This country. Now to the assassination party. That's the focus of tonight's angle.
They're calling the
Now,
Democrats
he's one of the, I think, most beloved figures in the entertainment industry, mainly because he's a trusted
They're calling the Democrats the assassination party.
Source of poisonous anti-Trump rhetoric.
This morning on the freshly paved over Rose Garden, our commander-in-chief presided over an important American tradition, the annual pardon of the turkeys. See, fascists have fun, too. It's fun. And I know a lot of people have been comparing.
Yeah, they're so mad that, like, people keep calling Trump a fascist or a Nazi. It's so funny. It's like, yeah, he should stop being a Nazi or a fascist, and then people will stop calling him that. It's a time-honored tradition, man. It's a time-honored tradition, okay? Dare I say a socialist tradition, certainly an anti-imperialist tradition, to call American presidents Nazis, okay? Republicans did it to every single Democratic president, and many people all around the world unconditionally say it to every single American president, right? Democrat or Republican, it doesn't really matter, with some exceptions. But it's very funny now that, like, we can't even fucking say it. We can't say an American president that's behaving like a fascist is a fascist. It's unacceptable. Oh, you want him to die. It's like, no, I just want him to stop being a fucking fascist. That's what I want.
Trump to Hitler lately, but there's some major differences between, for instance, Hitler was married to a woman who loved him. We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them.
Of course, Kimmel's more of a frustrated MS Now pundit than a comedian at this point, unless you think assassination is funny. This was the ABC star just 2 days before the third attempt on Trump's life.
We're going to have fun tonight, and I'm happy you decided to stay, Mr. President. And don't worry, if we bruise your ego, it'll only make your hands look less disgusting. You're looking good, though, Mr. President. Who did your...
Unless you're Zoran, then you could say it to his face even. I know. The mileage that this man gets, the allowance that this man has.
Makeup craft singles? First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
Deeply unfunny, man. Just when you thought they couldn't get any lower. Yeah, First Lady comment. I wonder if Cole Thomas Allen was watching. The language in the suspect's manifesto echoes what we hear regularly unleashed against the president. It's now become normalized. But after being targeted herself Saturday night, Melania has had just about enough. Posting on X, people like Kimmel shouldn't have the opportunity to enter our homes each evening to spread hate. A coward, Kimmel hides behind ABC because he knows the network will keep running cover to protect him. Enough is enough. It's time for ABC to take a stand. How many times will ABC's leadership enable Kimmel's atrocious behavior at the expense of our community? Well, President Trump echoed her statement and saying outright that Kimmel should be fired. Now, imagine what the Democrats would have done.
Do you realize that Jimmy Kimmel is the Hasan Piker of ABC? I know.
If there had been not one, not two, but 3 attempts on the life of Barack Obama. They probably would have...
Wait, there were. What are you talking about? There was like, I think there was 11 total attempts on Barack Obama's life. Like, there's more than 3 attempts on Trump's life as well. But the only unique one is the Butler one, because like the Butler one, maybe you think it's staged. Maybe you think it was real. I'm not going to say anything. Okay. But the only reason why that was unique is because that one actually dinged him, right? If we believe the official narratives that he actually got shot in the ear, but he had incredible capabilities to rejuvenate his ear like that. Okay. Imagine the meltdown if you went on Kimmel. I know. Who do we know that knows Kimmel? Does Tim Heidecker know Kimmel? Don Lemon might know him. Super TF can get you in there. Super TF, a big Jimmy Kimmel friend. Phineas
tried to shut down the entire Republican Party altogether by now. And speaking of Obama, his first reaction on Sunday was kind of a pro forma rejection of violence on both sides.
Wow. Not enough. Obama should only call out violence coming from the left and not the right, okay? Former President Barack Obama should actually say, it's good when the right does violence, and it's only bad when the left does violence. That's what he should have said. Even then, you'd probably find a way to fucking complain about that, too.
Adding that the shooter's motive was unclear. Unclear? Come on. You went to Yale, right? But after the first 2 attempts on Trump's life, and after Charlie Kirk was killed, it was obvious the Democrats hadn't learned a thing. They not only didn't stop their venomous lies, they upped the ante.
What Donald Trump wants is a one-party MAGA dictatorship.
Donald Trump is a dictator.
He thinks he should be allowed to do and give whatever order he wants because he's a wannabe dictator.
We are in an era
of maximum warfare.
Maximum warfare. And what's worse, that none of them.
So scary. So scary. I can't believe it. Hakeem Jeffries. How many subs from chat to get you in these? $118? What are we doing? Bro, I got too much meat for that. What are you talking about? There's no shot. Where does my penis go in these? Where does my ass go? What are we doing? 1,000 subs. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Answer the question, 1,000 subs, but I'm not going to do it regardless. So subscribe on your own peril. Girl tuck? You tuck it? I don't even know how I would be able to tuck that shit.
Actually believe what they're saying. They all know they're lying. None of them truly thinks that Trump is a Nazi or that he's a dictator, or none of them think that he's going to outlaw elections in the future.
I mean, I do. I can't speak for like Hakeem Jeffries and all these other people that do. I actually end up conceding on a lot of his ridiculous behavior. But, you know, I do legitimately think that.
Repeat the slander for campaign donations and to get voters to the polls for raw power. So why would they all show up Saturday night to hear a dictator? They wouldn't.
The Gafkas, thank you for the
But
subs.
countless alienated leftists who live their lives online begin to believe that it's their call of duty to stop Trump by any means necessary. It's assassination couture, and the Democrats' new pro-Hamas pinup boy wears it well. He's called for the murder of...
Thank you for saying that I wear it well. Thank you. The pro-Hamas pinup boy who's wearing the radicalism quite well.
Senator Rick Scott said that the streets should be soaked in red capitalist blood and rationalize the murder of a healthcare CEO. He's a militant Nepo baby twerp influencer delivering a Democrat call to arms.
Twerp.
The top leaders of the Democrat Party may stop short of his language, but still, in the Shooter's Manifesto, their words echo.
He's insecure. He's a wannabe dictator.
He's acting like a king, a despot, a wannabe dictator.
And as a candidate, he was acting as an outlaw candidate. And I would say he was acting like a tyrant.
Of course, when Democrats...
Wow, these unbelievably scary statements coming from the governor of Illinois and Jamie Raskin. It's so funny when these guys behave like this because they're basically saying, like, you're not allowed to say the truth about the president, okay? You are not allowed to say the truth about the president. Please shut the fuck up about the president being a fascist. It is hurting our feelings, okay? You literally want him dead if you say you don't like the president. This kind of commentary closely resembles a child in kindergarten, okay? Oh, you want me dead, like a drama queen. That's what Fox News is. They're a bunch of fucking crybabies. It's crazy. Shut up.
Hold on their rhetoric, though. They deny it.
This guy, I don't know how to drive, says, when are you going to get the fuck out of America? I'm here to stay, bitch. How do you like that? Does that worry you? Does that worry you that there are a lot of politicians that I'm working with now and that somewhere along the way you might actually receive free health care? You're like, no, I don't want Medicare for all. I don't want government funded health care. No, don't do it. I want to pay, I want health care to cost an arm and a leg. No. And you're like, no, you're going to get it. You're going to get that fucking free health care. That's right. I'm going to force it upon you, authoritarian style. No, I don't want free college education. I don't want that. I don't want dignity in my workplace. I don't want to have more autonomy in my workplace. No. Authoritarianism, baby. Authoritarian style. We're going to give that to you and you're going to like it. You're like, no, I want all my tax dollars to go to Israel. I love Israel. Israel needs to be able to keep killing children with my money. I don't want to fix the potholes. I'm like, no, your potholes are going to get fixed, okay? Your schools are going to get the funding. We're no longer going to war for no fucking reason, okay? You're like, no, but I love that we're going to war overseas. I love when my cousin goes out there and get his dick blown off so that petro-capitalist pedophiles can justify higher profit margins. Only thing they care about is shareholder value increasing. That's what I like. I like this system. No. And I'm like, no, we're going to change that, okay? You're going to have more just, more equitable outcomes. We're going to take all the productive output that we have here in this country and use it for good, use it on ourselves. No, we got to give it to Israel. Nope. That's the type of authoritarianism I'm representing here, okay? Malign influence on American politics. I'm pledging to fill every hole in America, okay? Every pothole.
You have, and as many of your fellow Democrats, have used some heated rhetoric against the president And do you think twice about that when something like this happens?
What rhetoric do you have in mind?
Just talking about
Dana Fash, handshake emoji, Fox News.
some of the fact that he, is terrible for this country and so on and so forth. I understand that that's your democratic right, but overall, do you
I have
a
no
responsibility?
personal problem with Donald Trump at all. I mean, I talk about the policies of this administration, the authoritarianism like we saw on display in Minneapolis.
Oh, he doesn't believe that. It's all a lie. So you know what I'm saying tonight? Now it's time for the party to put up or shut up. Answer this question. Do you want to stoke a revolution against this government or not? Because all of you, your language calls for revolution. Now, we all studied our American history, so we know there are times when violence is the answer, when we're facing a tyrant, right? Or or a real danger on the other side because of an elected official, right? That's our whole Declaration of Independence. So Jeffrey, Schumer, Pelosi, Warren, Raskin, if you don't want this to continue, you must unequivocally say on camera that the president is not a dictator, he's not a fascist, and that he's a duly elected president of the United States. Vigorous debate, aggressive debate, that's great. That's fine. We all do it. But some things are beyond the pale. He's not Stalin because you disagree with his approach to the war in Ukraine. Thank you very much. It's not enough for Democrats to condemn the violence on both sides. I don't want to hear that either. They are trying to kill our president. So I have a suggestion tonight. Try beating Trump on the issues. Why not offer the country something positive? You tried phony Russia collusion, you tried impeachments, you tried indictments, you tried casting him as Hitler to energize your supporters. None of it worked. Will you ever learn? Do you want to learn?
Be sure to like and subscribe.